Two people, same loan, same interest rate, signed on the same day. 5 years later, one is drowning in debt. The other has built real wealth. Same bank, same terms, same numbers on paper. So where did it actually go wrong for one of them? One single number. That's the difference. Today on the Asset Avenue Club, I'm going to show you exactly what that number is. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to work it out for your own finances. Because debt itself isn't the problem. Using it like you're poor is the problem. Strip away everything you've been told about loans, and here's what's left. A loan is simply rented money. You borrow a sum, pay a fee for the time you hold it, that's the interest, and then you give it back. The only question that actually matters is this. Does the money you've borrowed earn more than it costs you to borrow it? Say the money you've borrowed earns you 9%, and the loan itself costs you 5%. That 4% gap is yours to keep on money that was never yours to begin with. That gap has a name. It's called the spread. And here's the one number that ties it all together. Return on your own money equals spread times leverage. Leverage is simply how many pounds you're controlling for every pound of your own you've put in. Multiply the two together and you get the number that actually matters. A poor mindset looks at a loan and asks, how fast can I pay this off? A wealthy mindset looks at the exact same loan and asks, what's the spread and how many pounds can I control with it? Same loan, completely different question. Mechanism 1. Supplier credit. You can do this today. Say you're selling handmade jewelry online. The textbook approach is to buy stock with your own cash, sit on the inventory, and hope it sells. That's the poor version. Your own money is tied up, sitting in a box. The smarter version, ask your supplier for 30 or 60-day payment terms. The stock arrives, you sell it, and you pay the supplier out of your customer's money before the invoice is even due. How much of your own cash went into that deal? Nothing. Your leverage is effectively infinite because you're dividing by zero of your own money. Anyone who sells before they pay is running this exact mechanism. A customer deposit, a supplier's 30-day terms, it's all the same idea at a smaller scale. Mechanism 2, the property refinance. You buy a rundown flat for £250,000. You put down 20%, £50,000, and take a mortgage for the remaining £200,000. You spend £50,000 doing it up. Total cash you've put in so far, £100,000. The property is now worth £350,000. You go back to the bank and refinance at 80% of the new value, £280,000. You use that to clear the original $200,000 mortgage, and you walk away with $80,000 in cash. Here's the part most people get wrong. You put in £100,000. You've just pulled £80,000 back out. Plus, you're still sitting on real equity in a $350,000 property you can now let out. Run the number again after a stronger refinance, and it's entirely possible to recover the full £100,000, meaning your own cash left in the deal drops to zero while you still own the asset. But let's be honest about the catch. Your new mortgage is larger, so your monthly repayment goes up, and refinancing itself carries fees. This only works if the rental income comfortably covers that new repayment. Mechanism 3. Portfolio-backed lending. Now we go up a level. Serious investors rarely sell their shares or funds outright because selling triggers capital gains tax. Instead, they borrow against their portfolio, using it as collateral, and the bank hands them cash. If the portfolio is growing at, say, 8 to 9% a year, and the loan against it costs less than that, the spread stays positive, and no tax is triggered at all because nothing was sold. This isn't something most people can access straight away, but it's worth understanding because it explains why the wealthy so rarely cash out. The catch: if markets fall, this can trigger a margin call. The lender demands more collateral or sells your assets to cover the loan. Leverage cuts both ways. A positive spread builds wealth. A negative one destroys it just as fast. Mechanism 4. 0% balance transfers and your credit score. Two things almost anyone watching this can act on today. First, if you're carrying a balance on a card charging you 20% plus interest, move it to a 0% or low-rate balance transfer offer. Paying a 2 to 3% transfer fee to escape a 20% plus rate is about as close to a guaranteed return as you'll ever find. Second, your credit score is itself a form of leverage. A better score means banks lend to you more cheaply. That single number quietly affects the cost of every mortgage, car loan, or business loan you'll ever take out for the rest of your life. How to apply this to your own life? First, check your credit score and find out what your money actually costs you right now. Second, if you're carrying any high-interest debt, move it to a cheaper option. From then on, every time you're offered a loan, ask yourself, how many pounds am I controlling with this? And does what it earns beat what it costs? That's the whole idea. One formula, 4 mechanisms, 1 number. Debt is just rented money, and the only question that ever mattered is whether what you do with it earns more than the rent. If you want more breakdowns like this, real numbers, no hype, make sure you're subscribed to the Asset Avenue Club and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment telling me which of these mechanisms you're going to try first. Next time, I'll show you how to scale this properly, step by step. The Asset Avenue Club. We talk numbers, not hype.